Okay, so we're gonna be picking up where we left off with Poor Things. Chapter 3, The Quarrel. One day I asked him the exact nature of his researches. I am refining Sir Colin's techniques. You told me that once before, Baxter, but it is not a satisfying answer. Why refine on out-of-date techniques? Your famous father was a great surgeon, but medicine has advanced hugely since his death. In the past 10 years, we have discovered things he would have thought incredible. Microbes and phagocytes, how to diagnose and remove brain tumors and repair ulcerous perforation. Sir Colin discovered something better than those. What? Well, said Baxter, speaking slowly, as if against his will. He discovered how to arrest a body's life without ending it, so that no messages passed along the nerves. The respiration, circulation, and digestion were completely suspended. The cellular vitality was not impaired. Very interesting, Baxter. What use is it, medically speaking? Oh, it has its uses, he said, with a smile that greatly annoyed me. I hate mysteries, Baxter, I told him, especially the man-made sort, which are always a fraud. Do you know what most students in my year think of you? They think you a harmless, insignificant madman who dabbles with brains and microscopes in an effort to look important. My poor friend stood still and gazed at me, obviously aghast. I stared stonily back in a faltering voice. He asked if I, too, thought he was that. I said, if you don't answer my questions frankly, what else can I think? Well, he said, sighing, come home and I will show you something. This pleased me. He had never invited me to his home before. It was a tall, gloomy terrace house in Park Circus, and in the lobby he and his Newfoundland dog were noisily welcomed by two Saint Bernards, an Alsatian and an Afghan hound. He led me straight past them, down a stair to the basement, and out into a narrow garden between high walls. Near the house was a paved part with a wooden dovecot and pigeons. Then came vegetable plots and a small lawn surrounded by a low fence. There were hutches on the lawn and some rabbits grazing. Baxter stepped over the fence and bade me to do so too. The rabbits were perfectly tame. Baxter said, examine these two and tell me what you think. He lifted and handed me one, cradling and gently stroking another on his sleeve until I examined it too. The most obvious oddity in the first was the color of the fur. Pure black from nose to waist, pure white from waist to tail. Had a thread been tied round the body at the narrowest part, all hairs on one side would have been black. all on the other side white. Now, in nature, such straight separations only occur in crystals and basalt. The horizon of the sea on a clear day may look perfectly straight, but it is actually curved. Yet by itself, I would have assumed this rabbit, was what anyone else would assume, a natural freak. If so, the other rabbit was a freak of an exactly opposite sort. White to a waistline as clean and distinct as if cut by the surgeon's knife, after which it was black to the tail. No process of selective breeding could produce two such exactly equal and opposite colorations. So I examined them again with my fingertip, noticing that Baxter was watching me with the same cool, close, curious look I was giving his rabbits. One had male genitals with female nipples. One had female genitals with almost imperceptible nipples. Beneath the fur, where it changed color, I felt on one body a barely perceptible ridge where the whole body shrank minutely. But suddenly, toward the tail, in the other, was an equally minute ridge where it expanded. The little beasts were works of art, not nature. The one in my hands suddenly felt terribly precious. I set it down carefully on the grass and gazed at Baxter with awe, admiration, and a kind of pity. It is hard not to pity those whose powers separate them from all the rest of us, unless, of course, they are rulers doing the usual sort of damage. I think there were tears in my eyes as I said, "How did you do it, Baxter?" "I have done nothing wonderful," he said gloomily, putting the other rabbit down. "In fact, I've done something rather shabby." Mopsy and Flopsy were two ordinary, happy little rabbits before I put them to sleep one day and they woke up like this. They are no longer interested in procreation, an activity they once greatly enjoyed. But tomorrow I will put them back together in exactly the way they were before. But Baxter, what can your hands not do if they can do this? Oh, I could replace the diseased hearts of the rich with the healthy hearts of poorer folk and make a lot of money. But I have all the money I need, and it would be unkind to lead millionaires into such temptation. So I'll just leave off there for part 4 of reading Poor Things, and I'll see you in the next part.